Hey, what's going on, y'all? Showtime Sports Media, man, back in the building, bro. Um, I wasn't really gonna come back and do this video. Like, I really wasn't, bro. But this then created somewhat of a life of its own at this point, bro. Like, Kwame Brown trending on Twitter. Kwame Brown trending on Twitter is something that I thought I would never, ever speak into existence. I mean, or speak, out of my mouth. Bro, this dude is a bona fide star at this point now. Like, you went from the biggest bust probably in NBA history to, somebody that everybody want to get, like, to the point where everybody want to get you on their show and, you become an internet celebrity at this point overnight. So, in case y'all don't know, Kwame Brown is in the news basically because of an episode of All the Smoke that was recorded on April 5th, mind you. Because if you think about the episodes that they publish um, of All the Smoke, like they don't just do them in like 2 days and then they just they don't do it in like a day and then put it out the next day like a YouTube video. Like it's a show. So they record them. I guess they put them in like the can or whatever. They put them in like the vault, and they just release them. They release them. Whenever they release them, and they do it like that, right? Matt Barnes, Stephen Jackson been doing this for a long time, and then they got a huge following, and they done built the fan base up of hardcore Hoop fans and casual fans that might just want to hear old NBA stories from dudes that they used to watch. In the league. You know, but Kwame Brown is in the news recently because of an episode of All the Smoke that they had Gilbert Arenas on. And mind you, I said the episode was filmed on April 5th, so he said these comments roughly a month ago, right? So Gil was on All the Smoke, and he basically was just saying, talking about his high school days, his college days, all the stuff that happened. And then he got to like the Wizards days. The early days is like a wizard, right? So Gil was talking about playing with Kwame Brown. And he was talking about how Kwame would, come up to him and say, look, man, don't pass me the ball. Don't do this and that. Don't run no sets for me. Don't do that. All this stuff is documented, bro. Gil ain't said nothing that a lot of people in the past ain't said about Kwame. And where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. Like, to a degree, like, you gotta own up to a lot of this shit, Kwame. Like, I understand that, Michael Jordan, when he drafted you, he beat you down, and, he tried to, in his own way, take you down to build you back up and see if you can take it. But Jordan had to understand that, this is an 18-year-old kid, first out of high school, from the hood, ain't never had nothing. You know what I'm saying? He trying to make this basketball shit work, and then the first time he gets to the NBA, he hit with a hard reality like, damn, Jordan the asshole. Jordan this and that, bro. I thought Jordan was, Jordan was like my hero. Jordan was this, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stories like that about Jordan. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe was sort of an asshole to people, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Kobe, but Kobe did it in a way where he understood. It's like, bro, you got to be willing to work at this, bro. You can't just have stuff handed to you and think, think it's going to be, just easy street, you know what I'm saying? But Kwame had a different type of experience. But, and then you think about his career, bro. They kept him. I think they kept him. What did they keep him on the bench like his first couple years? Like his first year or two, kept him on the bench, and then like they started him or whatever. And then Gil, like by the time Gil got there, He said, bro, Kwame was broken, bro. And no, you know what I'm saying? And no uncertain terms, he basically said, bro, Kwame was shook. Kwame was broken, bro. Because, like I said, he got beaten down so much by Michael Jordan. By the time Jordan left and he got fired by A. Poland, it was no repairing that he could do. At least in that city, bro. He thought he couldn't do nothing right. He was like, man. So he was scared. He was like, man, don't run no sets for me. Don't pass me the ball. You know what I'm saying? All this, and that. So by the time he got to L.A., he had already built up a reputation. Like, yeah, it didn't work out in Washington. Let's see if it can work out in L.A. And it didn't work out in L.A. He was pedestrian, bro. You know what I'm saying? Scoring 1 point and you know what I'm saying, scoring 1 point in the game and missing a point blank dunk. You know what I'm saying, at the rim and you know what I'm saying, having it. You know what I'm saying, clank off the rim. And you know, I've seen dudes get denied by the rim before. It happens, but I mean, that's just where he was. This is what he was at that point. He was a joke. He was a laughingstock. He was a dude that really couldn't find a place in the league as a starter. Now he could be one of the dudes on the end of the bench, but in terms of like being a star and being like this great pick, he wasn't that. And you look at the dudes that you know what I'm saying got picked in that draft. You got Tyson Chandler who ended up carving out a nice career. He a champion. He a defensive player of the year. Shane Battier, two-time champion. You look at Tony Parker, four-time champion. You look at Gilbert Arenas, he was an all-star. Um you look at all these dudes. I think Nene was in that draft too. I think Nene was in that draft. I think Nene was in that draft. No, was he in that draft or was he in the '02 draft? I think he was in the '02 draft. He was in either in the '01 or the '02 draft. Because he was in the '01 draft, and yeah, and they is part of that draft too. And then they carved out a nice career for himself. Like you got to think, bro. Kwame probably hurt based off of how his career went and how everything turned out for him and everything else. But at a certain point, bro, you gotta look at it and be like, bro, you brought it on yourself. Like, I understand you getting beaten down and beaten down and beaten down and you know what I'm saying, taught that, you know what I'm saying, you thinking that you couldn't do anything right. But at a certain point, bro, you couldn't even work with a dude like Phil who probably was coming at you from an angle of like peace and love and man, like, yo, Kwame, we need you to do this. You know what I'm saying? We need you to. This is what we want you to do for the team. This is how you gonna fit in our system, and you couldn't even do that. It's like, come on, bro. Like if you was averaging 10 and 7 or 11 and 9 at you know what I'm saying, at least at the second stop, maybe a lot of people would have took you a lot more seriously, but they didn't. I ain't got no problem with what Gilbert said. I mean, I understand Kwame wanting to defend himself, but don't be going extra hard on niggas that then told the same story about you that countless others have told about you, bro. Kwame Brown was trash. I'm sorry, bro. Kwame Brown was trash, bro. Like, and you got all these dudes, you know what I'm saying? You got all these, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of NBA rejects and Twitter trolls and, you know what I'm saying, reporters and shit, defending another, you know what I'm saying, NBA reject, you know what I'm saying, that couldn't cut his teeth in two of the biggest markets in the country. And you expect me to feel sorry for Kwame Brown? Maybe. I mean, I feel sorry that he still been the butt of a joke for all these years, but again, man, he brought on himself, man, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. Maybe that's just me, but you know what I'm saying? Kwame, you gotta look yourself in the mirror, bro, and understand that maybe I'm the reason why. Maybe I'm the reason why people talk about me like this. Anyway, man, just let me know what y'all think, bro. I just wanted to put that out there because I think a lot of people just looking at it from an angle of like, oh man, Kwame been Kwame been the butt of the joke for all these years, and he really ain't been able to, you know what I'm saying, get a break and all this stuff like that. And I'm just like, at a certain point, when's enough enough? Like, when is Kwame going to be able to look himself in the mirror and be like, I did this? You know what I'm saying? I went to the draft at 18 instead of going to college for maybe a year or two to develop my game and develop my mental. I was the one who didn't produce when I was on the court with Michael Jordan. I was the one who didn't produce when I was on the court with Gabriel Arenas. I was the one who didn't produce on the court when I was with Kobe. I was the one that, you know what I'm saying, got put in the package that ultimately gave the Lakers Pau Gasol and 2 championships and 3 finals appearances. I was the one that, you know what I'm saying, let Brendan Haywood take my minutes, you know what I'm saying, when I was in D.C. I did that. So, for Kwame Brown to feel some type of way and be like, oh, what was me, and y'all better stop talking about me, or, you know what I'm saying, I do the whoop, like, it's not that serious, bro. This is basketball. We talking about basketball. We talking about they ain't mention your wife or your kids, you know what I'm saying, like you did, like you tried to do Matt. But you want to get mad because niggas talk about your basketball career, nigga. You did that. It's your fault you was a fucking bum, not nobody else. Anyways, man, I'm out.